Hi friends, this video is for our kindergarten through 4th grade team for October week 2. All month long we are learning the virtue of integrity, choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. And our memory verse for the month is hello. Anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes the crooked path will get caught. Proverbs 10:9. And I think this is a great memory verse, just talking about when we're truthful, people can't find blame in us, but if we're dishonest, then lots of times we end up getting caught. So this week we're heading to the book of 2 Kings, where we find the prophet Elisha and his servant named Gehazi. Gehazi seized the chance to use dishonesty to take advantage of Naaman's gratitude and get riches for himself. Gehazi went behind Elisha's back, denied his actions, and inevitably lost Elisha's trust. So our bottom line is, when you're not truthful, you lose trust. Being truthful is not just about the lie you tell and the consequence you might receive. When you don't have integrity, people will start to see that you are not really who you say you are. And I think this is such a great lesson, just that when we're dishonest, the consequence a lot of times is a loss of trust. I feel like that's such a great lesson for kids to learn. So jumping into our leader guide, we have free coffee and donuts down in the garage room. We're going to kind of restart a prayer time coming up here soon, but just make sure that you are to your room by 8:20 and 10:20, so you've got everything ready to go. When kiddos start to roll in at 8:30 and 10:30, they can get out some toys to play with. They can color their weekly coloring page, which this week it is just the virtue of integrity. And also just kind of use that time as a little icebreaker. Ask kids where they go to school, how their week was, maybe if they know what they're dressing up as for Halloween yet, things like that. Then when service starts at 8:45 and 10:45, I left my example out there. Hey, Lola. Okay, well, I made one, but it doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to give kids this coloring page right here, and they can color this, and you could give them this even as they walk in. And then what you're going to do is this backing, this is why I made an example one, but this blue stuff comes off. Hold on. I'm going to set you down really quick because I can't do it with one hand. But anyways, the blue part comes off, and I'll explain as I am working here. And you get a mirror, and the back side is adhesive, so the kids can peel off the back side, and they're going to stick it here, and they're going to make their own rear view mirror. And they're going to use this after a large group for prayer time. So they're going to kind of make that mirror right like that. And so what you're going to do is you're going to close by saying something like, drivers use the rear view mirror to see what's behind them so they know when to move over if a car is coming up. And it's a very useful part of the car that keeps everybody safe. Sometimes if we could see what we look like and how others see us when we're not truthful, we would stop. We might make a different decision if we could look back and see our mistake and fix it. So we're going to go to large group and hear a Bible story about a guy who unfortunately chose to tell a lie, then another lie, and let's go find out what happened because of his choices. So then at 8:55 and 10:55, you'll head across the hall to large group. After large group, you can come back and pass out snack. While kids are eating snack, share again a little bit about yourself. Ask if kids have any prayer requests or praises. And then you're going to close in prayer with the following activity if you would like. Kids are going to have their rear view mirror page, and you're going to have kids stand in a straight line and then sit down, and you're going to invite kids to pray for the kid behind them in line. So you can stand in the front of the line and demonstrate how they would hold up their rear view mirror that they made in that intro activity so they can see the kid behind them. And as you see the kid behind you in your mirror, you're going to pray even with your eyes open for that kid. Review everybody's first names, that way they know, and then pray, Dear God, please help Trip be truthful all week long. And then kids are going to hold up their mirrors and pray for the person behind them. They can all pray at the same time. The last kid can pray for the person that's in the front of the line. And after they've prayed, you're going to have them turn around so that they're facing the other way. And then again, pray for the kid that's behind them. And then here's a prayer if you want to close down in a group prayer. Then for the memory verse activity, show kids how to look up Proverbs 10:9 in the Bible. You can practice their memory verse a few times with the motions. Then the activity for this week is, where's my page? Oh, yeah, sorry, I lost my page. So the activity for this week looks like this, and you can see that it's all jumbled up and kind of looks crazy. So you're going to show them to kids. Ask kids if they recognize any of the letters or words on the page. Then you're going to split them into kind of small groups of 3 or 4, and give them a page. And for our kindergarten and first grade kids, I just have these big mirrors so they can kind of take turns standing in front of them. For our 2nd through 4th grade kids, I've got small mirrors that are handheld, but obviously when they hold it up in the mirror, then it looks like words. And even though our kindergartners probably can't read all the words, you can ask them if they can recognize any letters or numbers, and you can show them what it says. Big kids should be able to read the words once you have it in the right way. Then you can close by saying something like, it's so neat to look in the mirror and see ourselves because we're so wonderfully made by God. And when we looked in the mirror holding the piece of paper, we got to see how the mirror took what looked like squiggles on the paper and reversed them so we could see the letters and words. So let's try to make good choices this week so we'll walk safely and not get caught because we've made mistakes. Let's remember, when you're not truthful, you lose trust. And then finally, the last little activity, kids are going to sit in a circle. You're going to call a volunteer to stand off to the side and turn their back to the group and close their eyes and cover their ears. Then the rest of the group is going to sit in the circle and put their hands behind their backs. You're going to quietly give one kid the quarter, and you're going to direct them to hold it behind their back. And you're going to tell the group to act natural, even though one of the kids is hiding the quarter. And you're going to call on the kid volunteer who is out of the circle. They can come back and they're going to stand in the middle of the circle and they get 3 chances to guess who has the quarter. If they guess correctly in their 3 chances, the kid with the quarter gets to step out and be the next volunteer and you'll play the game again. If the kid has 3 incorrect tries, then they get to go again, step out, and you'll pick a different kid. And you can repeat the game for 3 or 4 rounds. Then you're going to gather the kids together to review the story. So Naaman traveled to meet Elisha because he had a terrible skin disease. Elisha told him to dip in the Jordan River 7 times. Naaman did that and he was healed. To thank him for what he'd done, Naaman offered a gift to Elisha. But Elisha wouldn't take a reward for something that God did. So Naaman left to go home, but Gehazi, Elisha's servant, thought that he should accept the gift. So he ran after Naaman to catch up with him as he drove his chariot away. So then you're going to ask these following questions. What did Gehazi say to Naaman? What lie did he tell? Then the answer is in parentheses. If they need help, they can look up 2 Kings 5:20 through 22. What did Gehazi do with the gift when he returned to Elisha's home? He hid it. And then what did Gehazi say to Elisha? What lie did he tell to Elisha? He told Elisha he hadn't gone anywhere. And you can close by saying, this is a crazy story, but it shows what can happen if we choose to lie instead of telling the truth. Gehazi lied to Naaman in order to receive money and clothes, and he knew he was wrong because he hid the gift. Then he lied to Elisha about what he had done when he said, I didn't go anywhere. And because of his dishonesty, there were physical consequences. Gehazi was struck with the same painful disease that Naaman had, but there were also relational consequences. Elisha couldn't trust Gehazi because of the lie that he told. And the same is true for us. When we choose to tell the truth, we build trust. But when we're not truthful, we lose trust. And maybe you could give an example of a time when someone lied to you, or maybe you lied to someone and it broke their trust. And then there's some optional discussion questions that are down below that will be posted on the feed. So that's it for this week, guys. Super important lesson. Lots of fun little mirror activities. Thank you guys so much for serving. You are all so amazing. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And we'll see you on Sunday.